Let me tell y'all about these little black geniuses changing the damn world while you be playing with time. Kendall R.J., 6 years old, youngest certified farmer in Georgia. Corey C. started from his damn backyard, now has 4 produce stands at 19 years old.
Kyla M. became the youngest exec producer in Hollywood. 21 years old, started at age 5.
Caleb started aerospace engineering at 12. I can't even spell half this. He learned to read at 2 years old. These kids doing no NASA level math while I'm fighting for my life. Don't waste your brain any longer than you have. Anaya wrote a whole novel at 8, and now she helping their youth mental health. H. Thomas became the youngest certified health coach in the country, and here I am, damn near losing a finger over a carrot. T. Richardson out here raising money, sending girls to STEM camps. Meanwhile, I can't even breathe in this damn space bucket. So next time somebody say black history stopped in the 60s, tell them these babies writing a new chapter right now. Now go plant something, learn something, or shut the hell up.
Black young geniuses right here on Uncommon Sense, boy. Jay Green along with Big Brother Mo Better, Michael B. Wright Sr. here on the Uncommon Sense podcast. How you doing, player?
I'm doing plumb pleasing pleasure that I see the one and only James Green Howard the second from Stillman College. That capper outside, brother.
Okay. I gotta get your money right.
That noob, yeah, buddy.
I06.
That noob.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Oh man, it's another day in the world we trying to live in. That's all we can say, bro. It's just another day in the world we trying to live in.
Yeah, hey, you know we give Uncle Get Right. We had to get Uncle Get Right in there.
Boy, he told you, didn't
black history facts on our young geniuses.
He told you, man, go do something or shut the.
Yo, shut the heck up.
I like that one. I like that. That's the truth right there, boy. Do something.
Uncle Get Right. Uncle Get Right. I can't let Uncle Get Right get too caught up because he'll get loose, boy.
That's what you want, play. That's what you want right now, man.
Yeah. It remind me of somebody else I know.
Oh, Lord. That's the boy. Yeah, the first. Yeah, that first verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That first version of James Green.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buddy.
They're trying to tear up this world right and left.
They're doing a good job, bud.
They're doing a real good job. Good job. But let's get into something a little different here. What we talking about this company called Cargill. And they owning or they controlling all of the food.
Every goddamn thing, boy,
of this world.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the beautiful beam footage and learn a little bit more about this company here.
This is Cargill, the largest privately owned company in the United States, and one that some have called the worst company in the world. Many of the world's biggest food chains depend on this one corporation. From the potatoes in your fries to the meat in your burger, the buns, and even the cheese, Cargill supplies it all. At one point, this company even ran its own intelligence agency, which some compared to the CIA. In 2021, Cargill reported an astonishing revenue of $135 billion. The company is run by a secretive family, with 14 of its members ranked as billionaires, and yet most people have never even heard of it. And that's not a coincidence. Cargill goes out of its way to stay under the radar, because the less people know about them, the less they can be held accountable. But the actions this company has taken over the last 40 years are far too big to stay in the shadows. In today's video, we're uncovering the story of a company that holds influence over nearly every major food brand in the world. How did Cargill rise to such power, and what exactly did it do to earn such a notorious reputation?
Now, Cargill, standing under the radar, don't want nobody to know about them, but they got 14 members of their families that are what, billionaires?
Billionaires, doctor. I told you, man. These boys playing a game we ain't even in the ballpark, boy.
Bruh, they playing chess for real, aren't they?
And boy, they went in. You hear me?
And we playing chess. What's going on with that?
Good luck with that. Yeah,
We
man.
playing with we playing with dresses and really?
I'm trying to tell you, man. This is the best we can do. That's
Okay.
what I'm saying, man. When you compare yourself to that side of that, brother, we're not even nowhere near that class. That's why the conversation's entirely different, man. Entirely different.
And you know that food supply is something really serious
It is, yeah.
because you got a lot of, I mean, you got a lot of people that's leaving this earth because of cancer.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you like, well, why? Why all of a sudden just cancer is just popping up rampantly like it is?
Hmm.
You know?
Most definitely, bro. Yeah, man. When you're 100% right on that, Jay.
Mhm.
Nothing is like it was when we was coming up and meeting
Right.
before our time. I can remember a conversation that my
Mhm.
mom and dad used to have around the table.
Mhm.
When mom said, stuff don't taste like it used to,
Right,
and
right, right.
dad said, back in the day, bro, they would eat everything from the whole, from the,
Yeah.
from the front to the
Yeah.
back, and them people lived to be 90 and 100 years old.
100 years
Uh,
old.
and so and they didn't have the law that came from vegetable oil and
Mm-mm.
canola oil. They had the
No.
law that came
The
from the whole boy.
old, bruh.
And they lived to be 100 years of age, man. And so yeah, it's amazing that we're supposed to be quote unquote eating healthier and da 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 da, and we're dying like you said from cancer and stuff that was never in the mix.
Mm.
Uh, and so yeah, it's true, man. We're digging our grave with our teeth, man. We just don't
Right.
recognize how bad that statement truly is.
Right, right, right. And then even dealing with these companies that's supposed to be quote unquote regulating what we eat, or even the government themselves supposed to be regulating, oh, okay, was the food clean or the food contaminated or whatever. But come on, man.
No, not gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
Because again, Monsanto and Cargill, them, like I said, man, people don't recognize how little choice you think you really have
Yeah.
when you see the power players behind the scene and what's all up under the umbrella. And like just dealing with Cargill, man, where their tentacles are as far as this food chain is concerned, brother, you never unravel the thing when you really start dealing with
No.
it. And that's why your regulations are the way they are.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10, you've seen it with Monsanto. They
Hmm.
pulled folks from the FAA, USDA. They pulled them all over from the Agriculture Department and brought them over to Monsanto. And so
Mm.
those who used to actually regulate them came over there and became lawyers for them and came over there and been board directors. And so that's why they was able to make the moves they made because they pulled them from the federal government.
Wow.
And so that's where you got it. And Monsanto was that was the prototype right there, bro. Monsanto did that, man. They pulled them folks from
Mhm.
USDA and everywhere else, man, and the rest is history as that's concerned.
Mm. Well, let's go to the beautiful bean footage again to learn more about Cargill, because it even goes deeper than what the intro talked about.
Yes, sir.
To understand how Cargill got here, we need to go back 127 years. In 1865, a man named William Wallace Cargill built a grain storage warehouse in Iowa. Back then, slow transportation made it hard to move grain efficiently, so warehouses became incredibly valuable. At the same time, industrialization was picking up speed across the United States, and the National Railroad network was expanding rapidly. By 1875, railroads had linked the eastern and western coasts. Cargill saw the opportunity and began building warehouses at every important railway junction. In 1880, William Wallace Cargill arranged for his son to marry the daughter of John H. Macmillan, who owned another large warehouse chain. By 1890, the Cargill family had gained near total control over the grain storage business in the country. Then in 1924, they took things further by acquiring a company called Taylor and Bornick, which had its own private wire system, an early version of instant communication similar to the telegraph. Unlike regular mail, which could take days, this system allowed them to send messages almost instantly across long distances. Now that Cargill was active in the stock market, having fast access to information became essential. Owning their own wire system gave them a major advantage, a cutting-edge tool that worked much like the internet does today. With this system, Cargill started investing heavily in commodities. They could monitor developments in real time across different states and adjust their strategies almost immediately, leading to incredibly profitable outcomes. This edge helped them not just survive, but thrive during the Great Depression Depression of the 1930s, a time when thousands of American businesses collapsed. Because of their private information network, Cargill saw the financial crisis coming before it hit. They began stockpiling massive amounts of grain, so when the grain shortages arrived, they sold off their reserves at double the usual price, making record profits. With the profits they had earned, Cargill began expanding far beyond grain storage. They started buying up farmland on a massive scale, purchasing thousands of acres from individual farmers. At the same time, they invested heavily in transportation, adding trains, trucks, and even cargo ships to their network, aiming to take control of the entire supply chain, from the farm all the way to the consumer. And over the years, they made it happen. By the 1970s, Cargill had gained control over much of America's poultry, dairy, grain, and transport industries. Once they had a firm hold on the US market.
So they took control of the market, created their own telecommunications to where they can get information in real time back and forth with each other. Wow.
Hey man, again, when you accept the monopoly, bro, you can run the show. You can run the show, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is where it gets a little tricky. Because then they start saying, okay, we can go global with this, but we found something that we could take from somebody, and we could take it easily from somebody that will make us richer than rich, and then we could take over the whole food market with it.
That part.
Here it is.
And began expanding globally. That was a turning point, the moment when Cargill's operations started impacting the lives of people across the world. Around this time, global demand for products like baby formula and chocolate began to rise. Chocolate, in particular, became a booming industry. Even today, the world consumes around 8 million tons of it every year. Chocolate is made from cocoa, which only grows in specific regions. About 70% of the world's cocoa comes from African countries like Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Cameroon, accounting for nearly 80% of the global chocolate supply. To tap into this growing market, Cargill started supplying cocoa to major brands like Nestlé, Mars, and Hershey's. They built cocoa processing plants in places like the Philippines and Taiwan, sourcing raw cocoa from nearby jungles and shipping it out to these global food giants. But as Cargill expanded, it ran into two major challenges. First, labour laws in the region were relatively strict. Second, natural disasters like storms made cocoa farming and transportation more expensive and unpredictable. To Cargill, there seemed to be one clear solution to both problems: a continent struggling with poverty, Africa. In the 1990s, Cargill discovered vast cocoa-growing regions in the Ivory Coast and made the decision to move its operations from the Philippines to Africa. But just a few years later, in 2000, a report surfaced that shocked the world. It revealed that during the 1990s, thousands of children under the age of 12 had been trafficked from Mali to the Ivory Coast and forced to work on cocoa plantations. These children were not paid, were poorly fed, and were denied even the most basic care. Some shared stories of being beaten with cocoa branches for small mistakes. Others had scars from knife wounds. All this suffering was tied to the production of cheap cocoa, the very same cocoa used in chocolates, made by major brands like Cadbury, Mars, and Hershey's. Widespread poverty and corruption allowed local governments to turn a blind eye to these abuses, often in exchange for small bribes. In 2005, the International Labour Rights Fund released a report claiming that these child labour camps were operating under the direct oversight of Cargill. After the report came out, a lawsuit was filed against the company, a case that's still making its way through local courts today. But despite the serious allegations, Cargill's operations barely slowed down. The company continued expanding across Africa. In 2019, it invested $113 million to build cocoa processing plants in the Ivory Coast and Ghana, while publicly stating its opposition to child labour. But many saw those statements as nothing more than a public relations move.
So you now go to Africa, discover the cocoa beans over there, and then you start raping the actual land of that. And then you start enslaving their people to do all the labor, all the work, which you then get into the government.
Yep.
And then you give them small bribes. I mean, this sounds so familiar.
Familiar. That part.
Yeah. It seems like this same game has been run or rerun over and over again.
Yeah, game don't change. Player, just the players.
Just the players, though.
Just the players, man. That's all
And
that is.
even the location here, man.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Wow.
And again, man, that's what the I forgot the sister's name, man, but she's very advocate for diaspora and also for Africa. Again,
Mhm.
it'll come to me. She was a former ambassador,
Mhm.
but she was saying, man, that if ever Africa will wake up, they could shut down, the world.
Yeah.
And she's so
Yeah.
true. When you're looking at all the raw products that come out of Africa, from the
Mhm.
cocoa beans to the cobalt, you name it, it comes from the motherland. Um, and if they would ever wake up, you could shut down the world, man, overnight. And that's the sad part about it is when you're looking at the wealth of where it is and how it is. Um, it's easy to say that it's just a matter of time for the right person to get in the place, and the rest is history. But dealing with what the here and now is, you do have those individuals in the political positions in Africa that, unfortunately,
Mhm.
because the money is
Mhm.
is right to some degree,
Mhm.
you turn a blind eye to what's
Right.
happening in your country, and that's the sad part about it. That you would rather have the lapse of luxury for a few, um, and make it more plush for folks over here that don't look nothing like you.
Right.
And but then privilege, and then also punish the people that looks like you in your own country. So it's a dynamic, man, that I don't understand. It's just human nature, I guess.
Mm.
But if you would turn again the right kind of energy toward developing, if developing, it's just a matter of honing in on what you have as a country.
Right.
Africa, man, could pull every single person out of poverty in Africa overnight, man, with just a matter of a flip of the switch.
Mm.
When you look at how the production of raw materials come out of that country and fuel everything around the world, man, it's phenomenal to think about.
And you even wonder, well, why hadn't anybody just flipped the switch and thought that way? Like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
Well, you can blame no country for that. Your boy, now again, everybody got their ways or whatever, but Gaddafi tried it. But any African leader, and you can pull this up on YouTube, man. They did a whole series on the African leaders that were assassinated at coups that were
Mhm.
planned
Mhm. Mhm.
by your government, just like they did in
Mhm.
Venezuela. Every single regime change you saw in Africa, America, CIA had his hands in it. And so anybody that was building up Africa and
Right.
attempting to make that switch, to flip
Right.
the
Right.
switch,
Right. 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 Right.
they took them out. It was constant, it's consistent, and so you have what you have today. And so at some point, it's not going to be just Africa. It's going to be people in this country
Yeah.
first as well
Yeah.
to recognize what you're doing.
Mhm.
You and even King said it best, man. For some reason, and he said in one of his last speeches that he sees the arrogance of America. They think
Right.
because of your political power that you become the police of the world,
Mhm.
and that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they and I say they is those who are in control of the
Mhm.
things right now in this hemisphere. They believe they are, and they believe
Right.
they control everything around the world only because,
Mhm.
again, you have made it so that these entities are dependent upon what you're doing. And so even this country has got to have a come to Jesus moment at some
Right.
point and
Exactly.
recognize, what we're doing, not only here in your own country, you're going to have to pay for these seeds you sown, but across the waters,
Right.
you gotta pay for the seeds you're sowing over there, and there's no surprise the unrest that you're seeing over here in your country. So
Right.
don't freak out.
Right.
It's just been seen and it's starting to pop up, and I don't think I know America's not ready for what those seeds are going to bring to you. Uh,
No.
yep,
Mm-mm.
because
Mm-mm.
that stuff was sown years, uh,
Years.
and when that harvest start coming in, Captain, it ain't gonna be pretty for nobody.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's what it is.
It's not. And here's the last of the beautiful beam footage on Cargill right here on Uncommon Sense.
Cargill's core business is producing, storing, and distributing grains, dairy, and poultry. To keep those operations running and growing, they needed huge amounts of land, and it had to be cheap. To get that land, Cargill was accused of working with local gangs in multiple countries, using threats and violence to take control of properties. In 2011, in Indonesia, reports claimed that hired enforcers burned down an entire village on Cargill's orders. The reason? Someone from the village had been accused of stealing a single fruit from a company-owned orchard. After the fire, Cargill took over the land. A similar incident occurred in Brazil in 2013. Cargill was accused of sending a private militia to a village to drive out the residents. Witnesses said the militia broke into homes, assaulted women and children, and forced the entire village to flee in terror. Once again, the land ended up in Cargill's hands. In 2018, the company was sued for massive deforestation in the Amazon rainforest, mainly to make room for corn and soy farming. By 2020, reports estimated that Cargill had cleared around 800 square kilometers of forest. Today, that land is used to grow soy, much of which is used to feed nearly 60% of the world's poultry supply. Today, Cargill has grown into a global giant. Along with just 4 other companies, it controls 85% of the world's meat supply. Most major fast food chains get their ingredients directly from Cargill. But behind the tasty burgers, crispy chicken, and sweet chocolates, there are disturbing realities that often go unnoticed. Despite everything that's come to light, most people still have no idea who's really pulling the strings. In many of our countries, we proudly enjoy meals from big-name fast food brands. We assume that because these brands are international, the food must be safe and trustworthy. We eat it without thinking, without asking questions about where it comes from or how it's made. We follow without knowing. But knowledge is power.
That's right. That's right. And you just talked about
knowledge
it.
is power, man. But the thing about it is,
yeah.
And
you talked about it. You said that somebody comes in there and violently goes through and kind of tame the people violently to where, hey, everybody else is like, hey, I don't want to deal with it. I just fall in line and do what I got to do.
That's what I did, man. And see, and again, you got to look at something with your own government, what they say when they say peace through strength. That is an ideology, man, that flows beyond your government. And the matter of fact, that came to your government from people such as Cargill and those people who were really pulling the purse strings. So when you say peace through strength, what you're really showing is dominance as it relates to, again, violence, forceful taking of things. That's what that ideology says. And this sickening issue that we have is, man, is instead of these nations having some kind of recourse, whether it's the UN, what was supposed to be there for that thing there. When you look at United Nations, you got to have some kind of mechanism, man, to hold these entities accountable across when they leave their particular borders. But unfortunately, you don't have that. And so you have individuals such as in the Amazon, such as in Indonesia and Taiwan, stuff like that, because you are operating outside the mechanism of their law system, you don't have any kind of recourse. And just like the narrator said, the law case they got that's been in the works since the 1990s. Brother, it's 2026.
Yeah.
Think about that. You're talking about almost a freaking decade, over a decade of a law case working itself through court. So everybody who's in there is just like, of course, the Tulsa Oklahoma situation where everybody who was in that circle then died out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
who you going to pay restitutions to? How are you going to make this thing right when the folks that were truly affected by it are no longer here? To reap the benefits of that. And so again, they can and they do keep these things tied up in quote unquote the court systems over here because you're trying to coordinate both. You're trying to coordinate, of course, what's happening as far as the particular nation of which happens, and you're trying to coordinate what's happening as far as the court systems here in America. And those two will never coexist. They will never meet, no matter how you do it.
No.
And so it's going to be a matter of time before all this stuff just dissipates into the air. And that's what these cats are doing. They know they got the cash flow to keep these things litigated until the second coming.
Exactly.
And so that's where you are. And that's why, again, for the young generation, they got to take a different stance, man.
Right.
You got to understand again what's actually the storyline, in this narrative, and work it that way, and stop with these boogeyman's that's popping up that folks are saying you that's it, that's it.
Right.
No,
No,
player,
no, player. No,
you didn't get it overnight.
no,
You did not get to
no.
this situation here overnight, and you better find out who the players are.
Right.
And Cargill again is the largest
Largest.
privately, keyword is privately
Privately.
held company. And that tells you right there, man, when you can have an intelligence department inside your, company that compares to the CIA, what does that tell you, player?
Exactly.
So
Man, you are you are definitely dangerous
I'm
from
trying
that
to do,
standpoint.
I'm
And
trying to
and
do.
even how the political process is changing in our society right now here
Hmm.
in the States, to where now you got the younger generations running for office.
Hmm.
And that's a good thing, but you better help the younger generation understand, like you said, the players that are in the game.
Hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, even the older generation don't know the players that's in the game.
No, no.
So now you setting up a young generation to go into political offices,
Hmm.
and they're gonna get tore up. I mean, they're gonna get just shredded because they don't know.
True.
It's like
And
they're going in with ignorance. Of
yeah.
course, they don't
Hmm.
know
Hmm. Yeah.
because nobody taught them. But we say, hey, it's good that you made history, and
Hmm.
yeah, we want that nostalgia, that history nostalgia, and our people always want that nostalgia.
That part.
But what comes with the nostalgia?
Well, nostalgia is fleeting, my brother.
Yes, it is.
Now I didn't say this, but a wise man said this, and I have to trust what he says because it stands to hold true
Mhm.
that my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He told you you
Yes,
getting
sir.
tore up by what you don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and so the dynamic, and like you mentioned, Jay, it is a wonderful thing that these young cats are diving into the political arena. And you had your boy get elected. I should call him boy, but a young man get elected to Stockbridge. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, exactly.
22 years of age, um, and so it has both possibilities and perils at the same time. They're both parallel to each other. And the dynamic of that is this: yes, you're in politics. Yes, you
Mhm.
were
Mhm.
in the seat of somewhat you think power is. But at the end of the day, if you don't know,
Right.
again, who's at play, what your country is doing, as far as even your particular cities.
Right.
Um, give you a prime example.
Mhm.
When you're looking at this thing of political election interference, and you had your particular legislators pass a law
Mhm.
that specifically favored your
Mhm.
boys who were
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
prosecuted for an election,
Prosecuted. Right.
that they could recoup any payment, as far as if this thing litigation didn't plan out, whatever, they could recoup their legal fees. Okay. Problem with that is, again, this particular law was put in place specifically for that particular case.
Right.
So for you to write a law that would specifically benefit a certain case,
Mhm.
don't you think that means you're going to slant something in a way so that that law could take effect?
Exactly.
Uh, and so you look at what happened now. The reason why they wrote the law is because they already knew they had Willis already in the corner.
Already in the corner.
They
Already.
knew this. You
They
know,
knew.
they knew your GBI was working on this stuff. They knew that
Yeah.
the attorney had this stuff
Exactly.
already in the docket.
Exactly.
So they know it was open and shut case. They
They
knew
were like, "We got her. We
that's
got
what I'm
her."
saying. And so they didn't change the rule book. They just, played the rule, which is we write the
Right.
rule book,
Right.
and
Right.
we write this law. And so now Fulton County is on the hook almost for $62 million just to deal with Trump. So
Yeah.
now you're getting ready to bankrupt Fulton County.
Right. Exactly.
When you're looking at the kind of money that can be recouped in this, if they're allowed to push this thing all the way to the hilt, then
Right.
yeah, you're talking about everybody in that case, even Giuliani, all of them can recoup their legal costs in this particular situation
Exactly.
off the rip.
Off the
Uh,
rip.
and
Hmm.
so this is again where your young brothers, young sisters who are getting into politics, you need to know the lay of the land, and
Right.
you need to understand what this thing called power moves are made
Right.
and how to make them.
Right.
You cannot go in assuming that you know. You can't
Mm-mm.
go in again trying to do this thing from the outside looking in. You have the seat now where you are in the inside, but you
Yeah.
better know what the inside look like,
Exactly.
you
You
know.
better know.
And it's not cameras and it's not photo ops. It's none of that, you know. And if you don't understand that particular aspect of this thing, then it's just going to be a matter of time before you're insignificant. And at this point, you're insignificant until you show yourself to be significant. And I don't think these young cats, unfortunately, have the draw for that. And
No.
it's disheartening. And I'm not saying they can't get it, but I
Right.
do say the first few years of your political career, you better get it quick.
Dude,
Uh,
6 months you better get
bro,
it.
I
six
told you, boy,
months.
you better get it quick.
Because
And
even if you dropped it a little lower, right,
mhm.
and you said, okay, well, let's look at the situation even with what we were talking about with the HBCU with Marsh Brown.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Now, you put a president in there.
Hmm, hmm.
He's supposed to change everything. He was supposed to bring Marsh Brown back to the days of Marsh Brown, the old Marsh Brown.
Hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, you look today, oh, they kicking him out.
Oh yeah,
They kicking him out for some
we don't know.
we don't know.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But even on that plane right there
Hmm,
tells you even where power brokers are.
hmm.
That if you get out of line,
Yes, sir.
they can really put you out of the way if you really get out of line. Because he was supposed to have been,
Hmm.
hey, this is the man right here. This is the one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But today, oh, I'm out.
Therefore, therefore.
They put me out.
Hmm. Well, now since you brought it up, there, you put
Yep.
it on a microscope.
Yep.
Um, you also have to look at it and
Yep.
to tier that what you said, Jay, which is
Yep.
100% power brokers. Um, another wise man said,
Yes, sir.
if the blind lead the blind,
Blind into the ditch.
ditches in your future. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's look at the power brokers behind that
Hmm.
particular move, which is the board of directors. Okay. Um, and again,
Okay, you go
Lord
there.
have mercy.
Okay.
Okay, I
Here
just
we
saying,
go.
you put it out there. If your board of directors is made up of quote unquote bishops of the CME Church, which it is, and you're bringing in quote unquote religious leaders to deal with an educational institution,
Right.
that's on the surface, it's an oxymoron.
Yes,
I'm
it
not
is.
trying to be funny.
It
It's an
is.
oxymoron
It is.
because running a church is not the same as running an institution of higher learning.
Right.
The dynamics of business may be in there some, and I do mean some,
Some. Some.
but the dynamics of running a higher institution is indelibly different than running a church.
Right.
If you
Yeah.
think about it, man, the reason why Harvard or Yale or
Yeah.
pick
Yeah.
one, Cornell
Yeah.
University, the one who you put on the screen, man, the reason why they could come up against the administration and
Right.
and
Right.
go
Right.
toe to
Right.
toe
Right.
is because they're not relying on tuition at all.
No.
They are relying on old money.
Old money called endowments.
Bruh, say it again. That Stillman College graduate.
Endowments that
Say it
we
like
have no clue about.
you have no clue about, bruh. It is said that the endowment of Harvard
Hmm.
is more than what your federal government has.
Yes.
So what that tell you, player? It tells you that you have no clue of what's going on here as
Mm-mm.
far as quote unquote power brokers.
Mm-mm.
And then so the dynamics of if you're going back to Morris Brown is again you have individuals who don't know how to run a school.
Right.
You
Right.
don't
Exactly.
don't
Exactly.
make moves based on
Exactly.
your personal preference, dude.
No, 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 not
You're
at
not
all.
understanding. So again, so when you're doing these things and you make these shift moves and you make these backdoor,
Mhm,
decisions
mhm,
without any kind of rational methodology behind what you did, you put a whole institution with its students, with its accreditation, with its financial aid. You put all that stuff in jeopardy because again, you're making moves out of your own personal preference, and
mhm.
this
Right.
this is the issue
Yeah.
when you're dealing, and like you're saying, when you're coming home, because
Mhm,
your Morris Browns, your Stillman colleges, your
mhm.
Payne colleges, these
Right.
individuals are supposed to be producing your next leaders.
Right. Right.
Okay, well, hell, if they're not getting prepared in that small of an experience, how do you think they're going to be compared with a Harvard or Yale or Brown College? You're not even
Yeah, you're not in the ball game.
you're
You're
not
not
there.
at the table, doc.
No,
Because when your main concern is accreditation,
exactly.
wait a minute, accreditation? You mean to just be an accredited university or college or school?
That's all they worry about.
And that is your main frame?
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
You're not there.
You're not there because you can't even compete. Like you
No way.
said, you can't
No way.
compete with the Harvards or the Cornells. You can't do that
You're nowhere near
because
it.
you ain't even got the AI yet.
Because you can't get there because you got
You
no
can't.
money.
You ain't got no money.
You got no money, man.
Yeah.
No, no. You're nowhere near it.
And the best thing you can probably do is to produce teachers, maybe.
That's all you got.
But in that sense, when you're producing teachers, you don't produce teachers that are ready for the students um that are present now.
No.
You're producing teachers that maybe they're dealing with students that maybe our age
Yeah.
or even
Mhm.
older.
Truly.
You're not dealing with the students of the tech world now.
Not at all.
No. And then when you get in there, then it's like, okay, I'm just doing this for a paycheck so I can get to the next level.
That's the best you can do.
And that's the best you can do.
Hmm.
But if I get that doctor by my name, at least I get a few more dollars.
That part, but
Yeah, but that ain't
mm,
mm-mm,
yeah,
mm-mm,
yeah.
mm-mm.
So the fear that that you're having is again, you're not producing on the level like you're saying as far as being able to address the 21st century issues that you're in.
Right,
You're not doing that,
right.
and it's because again, you're like you said, you're focused on just holding on to your accreditation.
Yeah,
Well, if you look at the history of Morris Brown, you're talking about over 130-year, 150-year institution
right,
um, that was that is prime property
right.
in the city of Atlanta. You know,
Yeah.
right down the road
And
from
they've been trying to get it.
oh, they gonna get it. Um, again, if bruh, it's just like those folks say, if you don't know the well until the rail one dry, it is because you don't know what you have. And people have ran on the nostalgia
Hmm.
of Morris Brown Wolverines. You know, when Morris Brown had their
Right,
homecoming, I
right.
was in the marching band, so yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we live to go to Morris Brown homecoming. You know, parade
Yeah,
stuff. We live
yeah,
for that stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but at the end of the day, when you
Hmm.
look at the full scheme of things, a marching band is not going to fuel your institution.
No.
If that's all you're known for, and yes, a lot of alumni came out of Morris Brown, like it did out of FAMU,
Right, right, right.
but that's not what that institution is known for. It's
Mm-mm.
known for its band.
Right.
You know, when you have this brand, that's what you're known for. Most people are attracted to that for that particular experience. Um, and so, no, you're not nowhere in the game as far as the power players.
Right.
And like you're saying, and you mentioned as far as the kids, it is a disturbing thing when you have leaders of these institutions, the board directors, who don't you don't know what your population is. You
Right.
don't know what your community is. You don't know
Exactly.
what the challenges are.
Exactly.
You know, you don't know 10 years that there was a plan that came out, man, when I was at Concerned Black Clergy. And this was when your boy Billy Payne and Andrew Young, all them,
Yep,
around the
yep,
Olympic time.
yep. Exactly.
There was a there was a plan that came out, man, called the New Georgia.
Mm,
Look at
my,
it.
my.
Bro, I'm
The New
trying to tell
Georgia.
you, and I tried to tell them then when they came through and made that little snippet, they mentioned it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I said all that stuff they were pontificating about, the village. I said, uh-uh.
No, 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 don't do that.
I said, what you better pay attention to is what that came out that boy's mouth when he said there is this plan called the New Georgia, and
Mm-hmm.
we're working on developing that and instituting that. Da. Now, folks didn't listen to that. But the next thing you know, a few months after that, you saw the Beltline coming out. You saw all
Yep,
this stuff with
yep.
the neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
NPUs being changed. You saw all the things as far as the housing projects being
Mm-hmm.
torn down. That stuff was a part of New Georgia plan.
You saw the Mercedes Benz go up,
I'm trying to tell you.
tore
And
down the
so
churches, and the Mercedes Benz went up, and even
I'm
now,
trying to tell you.
if you look at it,
Yeah,
Morris Brown is going through the accreditation stage. They looking at that property. They've been wanting that property. Georgia State and
yeah,
Georgia Tech has been wanting that property for years.
for years.
For
And
years.
they had and Morris Brown had to sell off some pieces of it to
Yeah,
try to stay solvent, you know.
exactly.
So they've been nibbling on you. And then you gonna make a move like this?
Mm,
Come on now,
right
player.
now?
Right
Mm-mm,
now? Okay.
mm-mm, 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 mm-mm.
So yeah, so those dynamics, man, when you're not privy to
Right,
know the 10-year plan, the
right,
15-year plan
right,
that's going to affect your address. Yeah, you're nowhere ready to deal with these things until it happens, and now you're reactionary and you're not going to catch up at all.
right,
And that's been the case with all this. We've all been reacting to something and trying to play catch up, and these folks are literally 10, 15 years ahead of you.
right. Because
Because
you're really setting it up to where your governor comes in and take over. And if he takes over, you can
well, they,
count the first one.
well, they've already set
Just
it
like
up.
they did with FAMU.
Mhm.
He did. Santos did the same thing with FAMU
Psh, I'm trying to do,
and planted his people there.
and it's over.
It's over.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah,
And if the young folks, but again, they could. And I'm
yeah,
not saying they can't. I'm
yeah,
staying on the side of the
yeah. They
all
could.
is
They
possible.
could. Yeah.
They really could, man. Again, stir the hornet's nest and make some things happen. However, it's not going to be again, as I told the individual, the days of your protesting and your sit-ins, all that stuff. Thank God for what they produced,
Right. Right.
but those days are over.
Right.
The, the only thing that this country understands and will ever understand
Mm-hmm.
is money.
Money. Money.
That's
Money.
just the bottom line. And
Money.
you can try to go over all the stuff that you want to go over, and you can try to do all the things that you want to think. But even somebody, a wise man than me, is in the book.
Yes, sir.
You just got to read it. It's in the
Bestseller
book.
too, bro.
Oh, I'm
Bestseller.
trying to tell you, boy, that thing
Yes,
right
sir.
there is loaded. A wise man said,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
money answereth all
All
things.
things
It's in there.
is in there.
So he's telling you if you got a problem, 99.9% of the problem is money will answer it.
Money will answer it. Yes, sir.
So in these dynamics, yes, and it's not
Mm-hmm.
making a play of issues.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
money talks, everything else walks. And so you're in that stage now.
Right.
Whereas you're gonna have to make power moves based on economics.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're gonna make it in this particular experience.
That's right.
And you have to appreciate that.
Right.
That's and we got to stop BSing and going over this stuff and trying to. And yes, God has a fact in this, but if you're gonna bring God on it, that means you better bring in His strategy and His understanding.
Exactly.
Don't ask God in and don't listen to what the man is telling you.
Right. Right.
So He's already given you the map to follow. You're just trying to put your intelligence with it, and it will never meet.
Mm-mm.
You
Mm-mm.
know. So this is what you have on the docket, and those who have a platform such as your Jamal Browns, your TD Jakes, pick one. I don't care. If you got a platform,
Yeah.
then frequently educate yourself on the economics of the
Exactly.
situation and come from that flavor, and everybody will be cool. You're
Yeah.
coming from an area, man, that you as Jesus said, you're leading people to the slaughter, and that's what this is.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's what this
Exactly.
is.
Exactly, bro. This is what this is.
Yeah.
And of course, they've been trying to, well, they're not trying, but what they're doing, they're
Mhm.
trying to even rip our history of who we are away from us.
You
They've
got to.
been doing that.
Yeah, you got to.
You got to, because
Mhm.
if you strip away the history, then the younger generation don't know who they are.
Mhm.
So since they don't know who they are, we gonna tell them who they are,
That part.
and then they gonna follow what we tell them.
That part. That
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah. And that's why my boy Uncle Get Us Right, he gonna come and he gonna tell you a little history about a little place in Florida.
My.
Was almost like a place like there in Tulsa.
Mm.
But we always talk about Tulsa, but we don't never talk about this place in Florida.
That part right
So I
there.
had to get Unc in on this. Unc, go ahead and give it to us. Now Unc could get raw now. Y'all just hold on.
Yeah, buckle up. You'll be all right.
Back it up.
Welcome to Ocoee, Florida, 2025 peaceful, but there's blood in the roots. Let me take you back to a time before. In the late 1800s in Ocoee, Florida, black families came here after Reconstruction, buying their land, building homes, starting a community from scratch. By the early 1900s in Ocoee, Florida, black folks were owning those citrus groves, running those businesses, and raising beautiful families. A prosperous black town, something we can have when we put our minds together. In 1920, Drew Perry and Mo Norman decided to vote and become citizens. That same day, the Klan was already riding through Central Florida to scare black folks out of voting. Intimidation was their weapon. That night in 1920 in Ocoee, Florida, mobs and Klansmen attacked the black community, burning in houses, shooting and chasing folks. In the early hours of November 3rd, 1920, in Ocoee, Florida, they captured Drew Perry and lynched him. After the massacre from the 1920s to the 1950s in Ocoee, Florida, black folks were forced out. It became a sundown town, no blacks allowed. 1960s up to the 2020s, built on buried history. New houses went up, families moved in, and everybody acted like nothing ever happened. Here in Ocoee, Florida today, you see sunshine, but the soil remembers. You better know the truth beneath your feet.
Ocoee, Florida.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You better know the truth.
Yeah, man. Because that like the Bible says, that blood still cry out, man.
Yes, sir. It cries out.
Lake Lanier the same way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lake
Exactly.
Lanier the same way, man.
Exactly.
There the city.
Mm.
And so yeah, man, the whole dynamic is try to whitewash, try to sanitize it. I get it.
Right.
But you can't, and on your best day,
Mhm.
you can't erase the black experience from this planet if you try. I
No,
mean,
brother, if you try. Yeah,
so
you
your best
try.
day.
Because you're
Um,
always trying to be like us anyway.
Playing, I'm trying to throw the box. But it. So again, like I said, no experience is bad or good. It all depends on how you turn it and how you view it.
Yeah.
But this is an opportunity again for the black community to finally take ownership of its narrative and of its story.
Right.
It's always been for someone else to tell.
Right.
And so now, when you have individuals that could, whether it's Spike Lee, Tyler Perry, pick one, I don't care,
Yeah.
independent artists,
Yeah.
God bless you.
Mhm.
But you have an opportunity through AI, through all these other avenues, to begin to take ownership of the thing and make it your own and
Hey,
create.
right. AIs are the devil.
Okay. But you better use that devil
No,
right
no,
there.
bro. No, bro. Just being truthful with you.
Hmm.
There are preachers out there preaching against AI,
I know.
talking about it's not spiritual, it's not this. Okay,
I know.
where are we going with this? Because you didn't come up with it.
Bro, let me tell you something. Man, don't go down that rabbit hole. We never come back. It's with anything, man. You have to demonize anything you don't understand.
Right.
That's the first tier. The second tier is if if you don't have the intelligence that counteracts, whatever's out there,
Right.
then you must have a boogeyman in the room. And
Right.
whether it's Satan, AI, I don't care. It always going to have to tie back to that demonic kind of experience.
Right.
Well, heck, if you look at that, man, everything will be of the devil unless God
Exactly.
Himself taps it. You
Yeah.
know, and if you let it tell it, black folk, we curse to the devil.
Yeah.
if you listen to the story, I mean, God dang. So if you let that run your life and you don't have enough intelligence at least to explore things, then okay. Again, AI is what it is. It's artificial intelligence, which
Yes, sir.
means it borrows its intelligence from others.
Exactly.
That's what this sucker
Exactly.
is. So again, the moment you stop feeding it, it has nothing left.
Nothing left.
And so I understand the premise of it is, but what's really demonic, if you think about it, is again,
Hmm.
yeah, when your mind is deducted from your life, it's extracted from your life, why but what
Right.
you let someone else think for you, then of course.
Yeah.
I understand that premise, but the apparatus itself
Mm.
is not demonic.
No, it's
The
not.
app is how you use a thing.
You're right. Right. Right.
It's either your love, your affection, your servitude to it. That is what makes it what it is.
Right.
If money was evil, then hell, stop taking up every single Sunday.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying,
Just
if
stop doing it.
just stop taking it up. I
Yeah.
mean, read it off of faith.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come
But see,
on now.
this is what we're doing because again, they're not teaching the kingdom of God.
No.
There is no way,
Mm-mm.
that you're teaching the kingdom of God and have an issue with this.
No.
Even and again, when prophets and apostles and chief potentates, try to come at your boy, I'm like, bring your A game because I'm
Bring
like,
your A because I'm
you
coming.
know, I'm true to this.
I'm true to this.
The thing about it is when there was another preacher moving in the city when
Hmm.
Jesus came to town,
Hmm.
even the disciples says, Jesus, do we go over there and shut him down and stop him? And Jesus said, no, leave that man
No,
alone.
leave him alone.
You know,
Hmm.
leave that man alone. If it be of God, it will be of God. If not, it'll speak it for itself.
Yeah.
So even Jesus tells you, you get distracted by something that doesn't even require your attention. You
Exactly.
you think because you got this that you've cornered the market. You know that's what this is. You think because we're doing this that's the only piece of God floating around here.
Nope.
Don't think that,
Nope.
player. Don't try to
Mm,
box him
mm-mm,
in like that.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
But
And
that's what
and
this
don't
is.
and don't think you got God figured out all like that, like you got like God figured out in the back of your
Mhm.
hand.
Okay, play if you want to. That that man show up on you in a second, boy.
That man show
Play if
up
you
on
want.
you, boy.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
So it,
That's what
it, it is
that's
again
what
when
Job had to
Mhm.
figure out. Job
boy.
like, whoa, hold up, bro.
Yeah, I don't talk too much right now. Let me shut this down for a
Shut up.
second.
Yeah.
You know, but you're 100% right, Jay. When we preach against stuff because the message that you're supposed to be delivering,
Hmm.
you don't have.
Right,
You know,
right,
you,
right,
you
right,
don't have. So
right,
since you don't have the message you're supposed to be delivering, you got to try to
right,
make one up.
right,
And so that's the whole issue with this.
right.
If God is giving a message, then it doesn't matter what the other side is doing. Just
Mm-mm.
preach the message that He gave you.
Exactly.
And I
Exactly.
promise you, it's not going to be something addressing Satan.
No.
Satan is
No.
not God's problem.
No. Not at
Never
all.
has,
Ab
never has been, never will be.
Never will be, bruh.
So
Never.
I understand the premise again, and I can appreciate the argument. I got it.
I don't
You
even
know,
know
I,
if I can appreciate the argument here because
bruh,
it's like
I,
crazy. It's like, dude, you get upset because somebody figured out through
mhm,
AI
mhm.
how to come up with a song to make the song #1 in the country
Boy, hey, y'all doing it, boy. I gotta
without
get
without having the bands and and all the
boy.
other fluff and stuff that costs money.
Boy.
and then everybody's gravitating to it, then you get mad because, like you said, you don't even understand.
Yeah.
You have no clue. You have no idea.
But CJ, see now, see, we're gonna get in trouble. And we ain't got time. I told you this rabbit hole, you ain't gonna come out of it. I'm trying to tell you, boy. Now look at this. Now look at it. Now you just tagged that the AI gospel songs, which are hidden now. If you listen to them, by the way, them boys hidden.
Boy, they hidden, bro.
I can't lie, they
And
hidden.
you talking about message, man? What?
Okay, so now look at it.
Okay.
Inside the church,
Mm-hmm.
the inside the institutionalized church, you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to have quote unquote authentic worship, praise, gospel.
Really?
I'm just saying that's what you're supposed to have. Okay.
Mm.
So here's the thing. Could
Okay.
it be, just
Mhm.
could it be,
Mm-hmm.
that what was supposed to be authentic actually became artificial?
Ooh.
So thereby
Ooh.
which,
Mm-hmm.
so thereby which, since what you're producing inside your institution that was supposed to be authentic, but it's artificial, you have a problem now and you wonder why folks are gravitating to another artificial thing when it has borrowed what it's doing from your artificial stuff that's coming out your house already.
Right.
You see
Right.
what I'm saying? The only thing
But
AI can
the artificial thing
Mhm.
that's out now is driven by somebody authentic.
That part right there.
So
See,
which makes the song now authentic versus artificial.
that's why you have this gravitation.
Right.
Okay, so again, when you look at things, it's you need to understand and discern what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't understand as a quote unquote spiritual entity that you can see behind the fluff
Right.
and stop with the demonic, making everything demonic,
Right.
but seeing what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If what the entity that's supposed to be producing this authentic thing, if you're no longer producing that,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be produced somewhere else.
Yes.
It has to be. It has to
It
find a
has to.
land.
It
Has to
has.
find a landing plan. So
Right.
if it finds a landing pad somewhere outside your institution, what are you getting upset about? How about you look at what you're producing?
Right. Right.
So deal with that. Bro, what I'm telling you, when you have musicians, and this is the truth, when you have musicians in a church that's
Mm-hmm.
getting paid,
Paid.
I'm
I mean
talking about
paid.
like $1,000 a Sunday, and this
Yeah.
is just the guitarist. This is not the organist.
No.
This is the guitarist
Artist.
getting paid $1,000 a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so just in your musicianship, you're paying anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 a Sunday for musicians,
See,
so that
you just said paid, right?
oh yeah, pay,
Paid.
oh yeah,
Okay.
so that you can create again this nostalgia that you call praise and worship. Well, here's the problem: you now prostituted the gift.
Exactly.
So those guys in there are not, if their heart is not there,
Right.
those guys
Right.
are not playing as David did
No.
when he played and you saw demons leaving. They're not playing for that. They're
Mm.
paying for when I get that check at the end of service.
Exactly.
So you have to look at what this thing has become. You know,
Mm.
D- David played the harp, and the Bible said the evil spirit left Saul. So that means
Right.
if a musician is truly anointed by God, all they got to do is play right.
That's it.
No song. All you got to do is play right, and people could experience something that you can never reproduce. But if that's not happening, then you need to question why that's not happening and fix it. you know,
Yeah. Fix it.
fix it. That's what I'm saying. Deal with what's going on inside your own
But you don't know
institution.
how to fix it because you part of the problem because you trying to produce the atmosphere that you don't know nothing about.
You done got it. I'm trying to tell you, but you better recognize. My mama used to say this all the time. She said, "Baby, you watching somebody else's pot and your pot boiling over." And
Ooh.
I learned from my mama. I watch my
Yes,
pot.
sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, mama,
Mm-hmm.
tell the truth. You watching your pot and somebody's pot and your boiling over, and
Exactly.
that's what's happening inside the institutions, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Stuff is boiling over. when you have, again, situations going on, even inside, this thing with Jamal Bryant and his wife in the dress. You got people coming in from Canada talking about this stuff, and I'm like, this is a discussion.
This is the discussion in the
This is
church right now.
in the church. What this woman wore when,
Yes.
bro, you got men sleeping with men inside the church after service. I mean, but you ain't talking about that. So if you're gonna start this thing, then start the thing, but don't cherry pick what you're gonna deal with. Now, don't do that.
Right. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
See, if you're gonna deal with all of it, then frequently deal with all of it and don't discriminate.
Yeah.
Don't discriminate when you have an arrogant pastor up there, preaching out of arrogance and not preach. Deal with that.
Deal with that. Can we deal with that?
Deal with that.
Man.
So, like I said, you go down the rabbit hole, you never come out because
you're right.
but people don't want to deal with that, man, because again, it brings it back home.
Right.
And that's why I stopped counseling people. I know we got to go. I stopped. I cherry pick who I can.
Exactly.
I'm getting old. When people would tell me, well, she don't do this and he don't do this, and if she would do this, I would do this. I'm like, bruh, at the end of the day, if it's just you two that's in the situation, then that means the problem stems from you two.
You too. Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you have a car and the problem you dealing with is the engine,
Yeah.
then ain't no sense in looking at the tires, stereo. It's the engine.
It's the engine.
So that's the whole problem, man. Folks don't want to deal with the engine. You want to deal with the tires, and you want to deal with the color of the car. When your problem is the freaking engine.
The engine.
And 9 out of 10 people don't want to deal with the engine because the engine is you. You're the one fueling this.
Exactly.
Your attitude, your anger, your frustration, your issues. That's where this stuff is coming from.
Yeah, you don't want to take the responsibility.
That's the whole point, because it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy to blame somebody.
Ask Adam. That boy shipped it.
That woman.
I'm trying to tell
that
you.
Woman you gave me, man.
He shipped quick, boy. He didn't think about it.
Doc.
Boy, he didn't think about it, boy. You saw that off ramp and he took it, boy.
He's like, no, God, you ain't gonna blame me on this one. No, it was
He said, I know where it's going. Let me get out this highway, boy. I know where it's going. Let me get off this highway. Boy. Let me get off this highway. So yeah,
I already know where the blame gonna come.
You know it?
Try to get this off of me.
Boy. That man said the woman you gave me.
You gave me.
So you threw Eve and God
up
at the
under
same
the
time.
He wasn't even thinking about Satan, bro.
Didn't mention him at all, man. Didn't say nothing about that snake.
He said nothing about that snake. It was just God and Eve. That was it, bro.
Didn't say nothing about that snake, boy. I'm trying to tell you, boy. So I'm done. I'm finished with it. So live and learn is all I can tell you. Live and learn, live and learn, live and learn. But all right. So if they would deal with it, man, they'd be all right. But they won't. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
It is
what
it is.
And
good night. Uncommon Sense. Every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Right here on SinceYouAsked.com and the TruVision.net. Have a great and wonderful evening. Amen.